My name's Flyin Brian J. This is MMAmania.com. We're talking about the main event of UFC Fight Night 110, or hashtag UFC Auckland. Takes place in Auckland, New Zealand. The main event is Derrick the Black Beast Lewis versus Mark the Super Samoan Hunt. The matchup is pretty simple. There's not a ton to break down here, and yet I have been having a little trouble choosing who I think is going to win. Let's just start talking about Derrick Lewis. This man is not great in really any one area other than he has ungodly amounts of power in his hands. He's not a phenomenal striker. He's not overly athletic. He doesn't move really well. He doesn't have great takedowns. Okay, he does have phenomenal ground and pound, but first you got to get your opponent there, and with not great takedowns, how does he implement that against the higher level of competition in the UFC? With his striking, he throws mostly a jab wide right, and then he likes to throw the uppercuts, and mostly what he's going to do is hang out for a while and just kind of do his thing, man. Swang and bang. Eventually, once he decides to swang and bang, he will move forward and unleash a bunch of strikes in a row. Left hook, uppercut, overhand right, and a wide right. Of course, that's what he really uses. And on the ground, it's just coming, that right hand is going to come raining down on his opponent's head. And even if they were to move, I'd be scared for the canvas. Perhaps he could punch a hole straight through it. Now, Reed Kuhn from Fightnomics tweeted the other day that Lewis has been hit with only four distance strikes in his entire UFC career, and one of them was that magnificent, dazzling hook kick from Sean Jordan almost exactly 2 years ago that sent Lewis careening to the canvas. So I guess what we can deduce is maybe he doesn't have the best chin in the world. Also see that forearm shiver that Matt Mitrione gave Lewis that sent him to the canvas as well. But Lewis has said that he was really nervous in those fights, and since that time, he's more relaxed in the cage, and he's just doing his damn thing. On the other side of the cage, Mark Hunt is the better mixed martial artist, I would say, than Derrick Lewis. He's definitely a way better striker. He's more crisp with his strikes, he has better timing, and he's overall more fundamentally sound with more diversity in his game. Lewis will sometimes throw a left high kick, but he really puts himself out of balance when he does that. And I've never really seen him land that thing flush. Mark Hunt, now he's short, but he does have these tree trunks of legs, and he's pretty good with landing a high kick. If one of those lands, Derrick Lewis could be toasted. Mark Hunt likes to throw the left hook, uppercut, left hook, right straight, left hook, overhand right. It's all going to depend on his lead hand. Sometimes he'll throw a jab left hook, but mostly he's really good with that lead left hand. He doesn't have the best movement either, and where he has a detriment, where Lewis perhaps has a detriment in his chin and his lack of really overall skill, Mark Hunt doesn't have great takedown defense. He's older, and I think he might be coming back too soon after getting creamed, not really creamed, but he got knocked out pretty viciously by Alistair Overeem. With his takedown defense, he's very susceptible to a single leg dump. See Mark Hunt versus Stipe Miocic. Now, Lewis is not nearly the mixed martial artist that Stipe is, at least right now. I would definitely pick Stipe over Lewis, and Lewis doesn't have as good a takedowns as Stipe, but I'm just saying there is a path for Lewis to get Mark to the ground. He doesn't usually throw out single legs, but you get what I'm saying. Mark doesn't have great takedown defense. Perhaps Lewis could exploit that and then unleash his dangerous ground and pound. So for my pick, I have two picks. One is this fight is not going to go the distance, and if it does, we are in for a long 25-minute stretch, because I think basically that means these guys are looking at each other and circling, looking at each other and circling, look at each other, clinch, then circle. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I do think this fight might be boring right up until it's super exciting, and at that point the fight will be over, and I think the winner will be Derrick Lewis. Like I said, I think Mark might be coming back too soon. I broke down Lewis's fights in the past, and I say, oh, his opponent has better striking than him. Travis Brown, he has those kicks that could keep Lewis at bay, could really hurt Lewis. That happened, and yet Lewis still wins the fight. I'm done picking against Derrick Lewis, at least until he gets to someone like Ngannou or Stipe, something like that. But for here, I think that Derrick Lewis is going to land a wide right, an overhand right, something like that, that's going to hurt Mark Hunt, send him to the fence, and then Lewis will unleash that wild combination that he likes to throw when his opponent gets their back to the fence. I've got Derrick Lewis sometime before the final bell, but I want to know who you are picking. Please talk to me about it in the comment section down below. Please give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you on my next one. Namaste.